There's a new registration plate, Bradley. I don't know if you've realised that. It's the 25.
25, yeah.
Yeah.
Feel
Which,
old.
which in
Feel
a
really
way
old.
doesn't have anything to do with us, but in another way it does, doesn't it? Because you might want to buy a brand new car now and then keep it forever or until.
Yeah.
So we see that there's, yeah. So there is some advice here from the National Franchise Dealers Association, who obviously have a dog in this fight because they want you to go and buy a brand new car from one of their dealers.
Also to go off on a tangent, but have you
Yeah,
seen the VED rates, the vehicle excise duty rates?
yeah, we should talk about those because they're ridiculous.
Fuck me.
They're,
3,000 quid to tax a car for the first year.
yeah, it's great, isn't
Fuck.
it?
Yeah, come on. Thank you very much, Keith Starlin.
Yeah, very much so.
He
So,
just finds new ways to screw us every week.
yeah, exactly.
We probably shouldn't talk about going to war for Ukraine, should we?
No, because we're not a political channel.
No, no,
Uh,
no, we're not
so we
political.
can't say that the roads, if you just look outside at the roads and see how badly repaired they are, but apparently we can send money uh, to defend another country when this country isn't being defended at all or repaired. So there you go. It's great, but as we need to keep mentioning, is that driving a car is a political act. Still, you're defying everything if you're driving a car. So people need to understand that, and they need to remember that when it comes to voting time. We really do need to ask the politicians what they're going to do for us because we're a massive, massive, massive part of the constituency.
Putting you forward to lead the revolution.
Well, you can do. The revolution may or may not be televised. And yeah, exactly. Power to the people.
No, yeah, in all seriousness, you're absolutely right.
Yeah,
We are a huge the fuel we buy, the tax we pay.
yeah,
We pay tax when we buy a brand new car. We pay tax on fuel every time we fill it up.
exactly.
I mean, my average fuel bill is probably circa 300 to 400 quid a month. Of that, what, 200 quid a month is tax?
Mm,
More?
yeah, yeah. It's
You
75%
know?
of the fuel,
Yeah.
which people do not realize at all. It's colossal. And obviously, we should be supplying our own fuel because we do have a North Sea full of fuel.
If we all didn't
Mm,
drive our cars for
yeah,
24 hours,
yeah.
how much would that cost the government in tax revenue?
Uh,
Is it
and
measured in the millions or the
yeah,
hundreds of millions or the billions?
it'd probably be billions, wouldn't it? And in a way, that's what people should do. It's never going to happen, sadly, but it'd be great if everybody said, "Yeah, I'm not going
No,
to put the
even
car
if
back."
we got 25% of people to do it, it'd put a dent in them. They'd have to listen.
Yeah, well, that's it. That's what we need to do. It's a bit like the farmers. You live in a rural area like I do. Farmers have really got to step up because again, people don't realize how important. If you ask people where they get their food from, they will just say, "Well, I get it from the supermarket," and that is not the correct answer. Um,
No.
it's made by people who get up very early in the morning and work 7 days a week, and I think they should be saying this isn't what we want to do. People,
I do have mates that buy brand new cars, and I
Mm,
chastise them for it every time they do it.
yeah,
But to be fair, a lot of them do it to make money. They do it because they buy something, they get their names down for
Mhm.
something flash. They drive it around for a month or two, realize it was a waste of time, and they sell it for a profit. Occasionally, they get stung and they end up losing money, but overall, I think they do okay. Um, but I've never bought personal cars to make or lose money. I've generally always done pretty well because the cars that I want to buy are generally sought after, and I generally do all right with them. But the cars that I own now, my personal vehicles, I've had for quite a while.
Mm,
The Mini I've owned for about 8 years. The Jag I've owned for uh, 7 years, 8 years. Um, what else? The Land Cruiser I've had for 3 years, 4 years. Uh, the Seat's fairly new and the Lexus is fairly new. But the Lexus I only bought to run on Shell. In fact, that makes me real. I haven't driven the Lexus in ages. I haven't driven it in a couple of weeks. I need to get that out and use it. Yeah, good car that. Right, you answered my question before. If you're going to buy a 25 plate car to last you 25 years, what would you buy today?
I don't know, almost nothing, because I think they're all too complicated. Because all the research I'm doing on modern cars now, it's all the problems seem to be the same. They all seem to be uh, software related. You know, any issue with the car is software related, and you just think, well, I don't really want that. So you'd probably be better off buying I'd buy a Caterham 7.
I was thinking an aerial atom, actually.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's the thing. So you got nothing to worry about. There's no doors or much to worry about, and it's just the engine and it goes. And
Yeah.
it's uncomfortable, but who cares? That's what driving should be. You should be able to enjoy uh, all your
Yeah.
senses as you drive along.
The only car, genuinely, the only car that and I will buy one at some point when they come down a bit more, because I've got a ceiling of what I'm willing to pay for any car. Doesn't matter what it is. The car that I want is a Lotus Emira V6 manual. That's the only one that I really want. Mostly because it's got a Toyota engine, so it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
And it's a Lotus chassis. And I think the marriage of a Toyota engine and Lotus chassis engineering is just the best thing ever.
Yeah.
And you get, it might be a lot of money. I think they're currently about 53, 54 grand for the cheapest one, but that's down from 80 when it was new, less than 2 years ago. So, you know, that's already a considerable saving. When they get down to 30-ish, I think I might have to have a tickle. Because I think that will be a car that, I'm not going to lose any money on, or very little. So at that level, okay, you've parked 30 odd grand in a car, but you'll get it back eventually if you want to get it back. So that I don't see as spending 30 grand, I see it as parking 30 grand. And all right, it's a lot of money, but when you consider what you get for the money, it's not.
No, it's not. No, absolutely. But yeah, otherwise we just buy an MR2. They were cheap a few years ago, but they're probably starting to go up now, I think.
MR2 turbos from the early 90s. A mate of mine used to import Japanese cars, and I used to go around and he used to let me drive them. Very nice chap. And I loved the MR2 turbo. 240 brake, about 1,150 kilos, 5-speed manual box. Quite vicious at the limit, but up until the limit, really lovely. Mid-engine traction. I used to love driving those. And back in the early 90s, when I just passed my test in 93, and I used to drive them 94, 95, they were really fast. I mean, it's still a quick car now, but back then, I mean, it was really fast. That was 94, 95 when people were driving, 2-litre injection Sierras with 115 horsepower and thinking they were quick. So 240 brake MR2 was just a complete missile. I mean, Ferraris back then were just 320 horsepower for a 348. So 240 brake MR2 was a lot of fun. Please like and subscribe.